Whole thing with Germaine Greer has been quite ridiculous, really, because we did demand that she was not allowed to speak at the event because of her extremely transphobic views.
We heard that Germaine Greer was coming to the Dome about 3 weeks ago, and as soon as we heard, we decided to kind of do something about it, set up the petition, started chatting to people, talked to somebody from the Labour Party, the Green Party. One person from the Dome actually called us, which was very helpful. There's 16,500 is the final result for the petition, and I mean that's a big amount in my opinion. I mean that would fill the Dome almost 30 times over. The important thing is that we raised awareness of the situation. We all kind of rallied together as best we could, despite the fact that it was, we've all got our own lives to get on with, and there's, always so much going on. Emma Franklin was able to do a performance at the Dome, which I think was, powerful, hopefully. I created a couple of banners, and I think the banner behind Emma just is the title of the performance, which is Trans Women Exist, This Is Not a Debate.
A theatre maker and performer, and so was in conversation with the Dome anyway. So when all of this kicked off, I had a long conversation with them. 90 minutes I spoke with the artistic director about trying to explain why people were upset, why this was a violent act, why they ought to take a stand and say actually we do not support this kind of thing. So as you say, they made the decision to carry on. But they offered a space to respond, and that felt initially like something that just to reject it, to say no, like you don't get anything.
It was sort of almost to make us like sort of silence us in many ways, just make us like back down or calm down or something. It was a bit It was a bit like they were just trying to give us something so we would get off their back.
I think the offer was so that they would look super liberal and super caring. But actually inviting people from a vulnerable community to have to stand up again and talk and justify, please, can you let us have an existence?
It's just like they don't get it on the way. And we had so many email correspondence, and we were, and Fox and I were on the phone with different people, and it didn't really matter what we said or did. They were set on not disinviting her from the start.
Totally.
And they, it's a decision they made, which is really sad because Brighton is such a great place to be when you're trans, and it's the home of trans pride, and it's just like an insult, really.
It's a huge insult that a publicly funded, professedly liberal space in this town,
of all places.
Of all places. So my initial reaction was to just reject it, and then I thought actually the offer of being on the same stage that Germaine Greer will be speaking on later felt like there could be something significant in that, and actually taking the space.
And just energetically as well, I think. It's just like,
And I thought, like, what would be a thing that if anybody came to our talk and then came to her talk afterwards, what would be an image that would be unavoidably burnt into their minds?
Exactly.
I wanted to reject the notion that there should be a response, and so we sat in silence for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really powerful. I think silence is very powerful, and I think it was a good plan. Sort of when we met and decided like what could we possibly do. I think this is a better way to doing it, because if we just host an event for 45 minutes and talk about how we exist, it's detrimental. It's just like, why would we have to do it?
Stressful.
I know.
Doing that.
Yeah, and you have to perform, and you have to have your arguments, and it's just like, we shouldn't have to come up with arguments as to why we exist.
No. To argue it gives validity to the idea that it's something that should be argued.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we took that, and I was on the stage with Kai Harrison Moore, who's a BSL interpreter from Brighton, and we felt that the silence would be doubly loud if there was an absence of that as well. The Marlborough have given us their theatre space and their green room space, and it's filled with lots of acts of self-care and nice things, and there's food, and there's a trans-only space and flowers and there are bags that you can take away and massage, and I mean, and I'm just, yeah, I really hope that people from the community who need a space of sanctuary today feel that they can come down here and just we don't have to get into intense conversations, but that can happen, but we can just sit and exist and
having a place where you don't have to validate your identity.
Yeah,
exactly. People don't understand that trans people go through life in many different ways, and just because you identify in a certain way doesn't mean you don't have an experience of something else. Yeah,
and I think that's really important too. So.
So you were at the Dome when Emma did her little performance, I guess.
Yeah.
What did she do exactly?
She had a speech explaining, that it's not a debate.
Right.
But you never know how powerful silence is.
Yeah.
I actually cried for like 2 seconds, but then I went eye makeup, so I didn't want to smudge it.
We'll be out.
All right, it looks good up there. It's all
Great.
golden balloons.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, have fun.
Thank you.
Told her we just sit after that. Totally fine. I'll sort it. Thanks, darling.
Hello. So I'm here with Abby, who is one of the organizers of this fantastic event. And we're here at the Marley in our little safer space.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so excited. I think this is a much better way than actually protesting, because protesting can be, it can be a bit, people can feel anxiety about protesting and they can feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I think this is a very nice alternative to a shitty situation.
It's totally shitty, and the city is not the safest it can be today because of the Dome's action.
I don't know if it's even a silver lining, as much as it would have been much better that she had been just disinvited, and that had been the end of that.
Yeah.
Things like this, the challenges that we face as a community, they really rally us.
Yeah.
And that it reminds us how strong we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And how much love there is, how much love we have for each other.
Yeah.
And, the energy that people put into supporting one another.
Yeah.
And the love,
Exactly.
There's so much love here.
I know.
Which is just in such stark contrast to like the hate and bile going on over there.
Yeah.
I think we're winning.
I think we are, yeah.
We can't take it for granted that that history is necessarily. We can hope and we can do everything we can to make sure that history is going to progress in the right direction.
Yeah, but we can't.
We can't go. I mean, the state that the world's in at the moment, we can't guarantee it.
And that's why I think stuff like this is important, like events like this, to sort of bring solidarity, love, take care of ourselves, and self-care. Yeah. These are two people who came all the way from Plymouth, right?
Yeah, all the way from Plymouth.
Wow, that's a long drive. Isn't it like 5 hours?
Yeah, just a normal 5-hour drive. Not too bad.
We were just talking about how it took me less time to come from Iceland than it took for you to come here.
I'm possibly thinking of moving to Iceland now because it's closer apparently.
Cool. It's so great that you actually came here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and it's a really great event, I think, because instead of having like a protest where people have to put themselves out there, I think this is just a nice space, and we're gonna get some massages and some makeup. And,
looking forward to massage. That should be good.
It's gonna be cool. So, how did you hear about the whole thing?
So I heard about it through, it was either yours or Fox's Facebook feeds, and I saw the posts about Jermaine Gray speaking at International Women's Day, and decided that we really want to come support everything that you're doing down here in protest.
Cool. That's so cool, yeah. It's so good to feel that people, even from other places, are willing to come and support, because it does affect us all, no matter where we live. I have Loretta here. She's here to join us today for this event. What do you think of the whole thing?
It's really cool actually. It's a lot bigger. You literally said to me, oh yeah, a couple of weeks we're having drinks. And I was like, okay, so it's just like going to be a chill thing, but a proper event. It's a proper party with self-care packages and a cake and a buffet and trans spaces within trans spaces within trans spaces. It's brilliant.
I'm so proud of this, and I'm proud of the fact that we have a place that is calm, and that there were people out being super brave and protesting the event, which is a really hard thing to do, and I couldn't put myself into that position. And the fact that you have this space to come back to, and I'm just I think thank you all for respectfully holding this. And let's I really do believe that as trans, non-binary people, as cis allies, like all of us here who are affected by all of the shit that's said, that act of self-care and community and celebration, I don't think it is inappropriate. I think this is about resistance. It is about power, and it's just like, let's just push on being lovely and nice and doing things that are kind to our bodies. So thank you. And I'm going to cut a cake, which is a nice thing to do.
Now let's eat the fuck out of this cake, Emma.
I'm so happy I did the design, which is like stickers, badges, a flyer to explain stuff, which you can with some of the wording for that, and yeah, I just hope everybody had a decent day yesterday, and that trans women enjoyed celebrating being women.
Yeah.
It's so simple, isn't it? It's so basic. It's unbelievable. I think we'll look back on this time and laugh. I think.
know, I just still can't believe we have to even make a vlog about the fact that trans women are women. It's just a bit...
Yeah, redundant.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming with us on this grand adventure of activism. We're actually off to Wales for a few days this week, that's coming up, and that's for our non-binary documentary filming with the all-female crew. We're looking forward to that, and then we'll see you on the other side. We'll have another film for you then. So, yeah. Cool. Bye bye.